Beecham, said Albert, it is of your journal that I come to speak. Indeed? What do you wish to say about it? I desire that a statement contained in it should be rectified. To what do you refer? But pray sit down. Thank you, said Albert, with a cold and formal bow. Will you now have the kindness to explain the nature of the statement which has displeased you? An announcement has been made which implicates the honor of a member of my family. What is it? Said Beecham, much surprised. Surely you must be mistaken. The story sent you from Yanina. Yanina? Yes, really you appear to be totally ignorant of the cause which brings me here. Such is really the case, I assure you, upon my honor. Baptiste, give me yesterday's paper, cried Beecham. Here, I have brought mine with me, replied Albert. Beecham took the paper, and read the article to which Albert pointed in an undertone. You see it is a serious annoyance, said Mercer, when Beecham had finished the perusal of the paragraph. Is the officer referred to a relation of yours, then? Demanded the journalist. Yes, said Albert, blushing. Well, what do you wish me to do for you? Said Beecham mildly. My dear Beecham, I wish you to contradict this statement. Beecham looked at Albert with a benevolent expression. Come, said he, this matter will want a good deal of talking over. A retractation is always a serious thing, you know. Sit down, and I will read it again. Albert resumed his seat, and Beecham read, with more attention than at first, the lines denounced by his friend. Well, said Albert in a determined tone, you see that your paper has insulted a member of my family, and I insist on a retractation being made. You insist? Yes, I insist. Permit me to remind you that you are not in the chamber, my dear Viscount. Nor do I wish to be there, replied the young man, rising. I repeat that I am determined to have the announcement of yesterday contradicted. You have known me long enough, continued Albert, biting his lips convulsively, for he saw that Beecham's anger was beginning to rise. You have been my friend, and therefore sufficiently intimate with me to be aware that I am likely to maintain my resolution on this point. If I have been your friend, Mercer, your present manner of speaking would almost lead me to forget that I ever bore that title. But wait a moment, do not let us get angry, or at least not yet. You are irritated and vexed. Tell me how this Fernand is related to you? He is merely my father, said Albert M. Fernand Montagu, Count of Mercer, an old soldier who has fought in 20 battles and whose honorable scars they would denounce as badges of disgrace. Is it your father? Said Beauchamp. That is quite another thing. Then I can well understand your indignation, my dear Albert. I will look at it again, and he read the paragraph for the third time, laying a stress on each word as he proceeded. But the paper nowhere identifies this Fernand with your father. No, but the connection will be seen by others, and therefore I will have the article contradicted. At the words "I will," Beauchamp steadily raised his eyes to Albert's countenance, and then as gradually lowering them, he remained thoughtful for a few moments. You will retract this assertion, will you not, Beauchamp? Said Albert with increased though stifled anger. Yes, replied Beauchamp. Immediately? Said Albert. When I am convinced that the statement is false. What? The thing is worth looking into, and I will take pains to investigate the matter thoroughly. But what is there to investigate, sir? Said Albert, enraged beyond measure at Beauchamp's last remark. If you do not believe that it is my father, say so immediately, and if, on the contrary, you believe it to be him, state your reasons for doing so. Beauchamp looked at Albert with the smile which was so peculiar to him, and which in its numerous modifications served to express every varied emotion of his mind. Sir, replied he, if you came to me with the idea of demanding satisfaction, you should have gone at once to the point, and not have entertained me with the idle conversation to which I have been patiently listening for the last half hour. Am I to put this construction on your visit? Yes, if you will not consent to retract that infamous calumny. Wait a moment, no threats, if you please, M. Fernand Montagu, Vicomte de Mercer, I never allow them from my enemies, and therefore shall not put up with them from my friends. You insist on my contradicting the article relating to General Fernand, an article with which, I assure you on my word of honor, I had nothing whatever to do. Yes, I insist on it, said Albert, whose mind was beginning to get bewildered with the excitement of his feelings. And if I refuse to retract, you wish to fight, do you? Said Beauchamp in a calm tone. Yes, replied Albert, raising his voice. Well, said Beauchamp, here is my answer, my dear sir. The article was not inserted by me, I was not even aware of it, but you have, by the step you have taken, called my attention to the paragraph in question, and it will remain until it shall be either contradicted or confirmed by someone who has a right to do so. Sir, said Albert, rising, I will do myself the honor of sending my seconds to you, and you will be kind enough to arrange with them the place of meeting and the weapons. Certainly, my dear sir. And this evening, if you please, or tomorrow at the latest, we will meet. No, no, I will be on the ground at the proper time, but in my opinion, and I have a right to dictate the preliminaries, as it is I who have received the provocation, in my opinion the time ought not to be yet. I know you to be well skilled in the management of the sword, while I am only moderately so. I know, too, that you are a good marksman, there we are about equal. I know that a duel between us two would be a serious affair, because you are brave, and I am brave also. I do not therefore wish either to kill you, or to be killed myself without a cause. Now, I am going to put a question to you, and one very much to the purpose too.